Imagine waking up every morning with a clear plan for your day, tackling your most important tasks first, and going to bed feeling accomplished instead of guilty. I've spent the last months researching the science of procrastination and testing dozens of anti-procrastination techniques on myself. What I discovered is that most of us have been fighting procrastination all wrong. We've been trying to use willpower and motivation when we should be using psychology and neuroscience. The first step to beating procrastination is understanding why we do it in the first place, and it's not what most people think. According to research by Dr. Tim Pickle and Dr. Fusha Siroy, procrastination is essentially a coping mechanism. When we face tasks that trigger negative emotions like anxiety, boredom, or self-doubt, our brain tries to make us feel better in the short term by avoiding those tasks. So if procrastination is about emotions, not laziness, then fighting it requires emotional strategies, not just productivity hacks. In this video, I'm going to share the 7 most powerful techniques that will help you beat procrastination once and for all, not just temporarily, but permanently changing how your brain approaches tasks. Technique number 1, the 2-minute rule. The first technique is deceptively simple but incredibly powerful, the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. Don't schedule it, don't write it down, just do it right away. But the real magic of the 2-minute rule isn't just for small tasks. It's for breaking through the initial resistance of larger tasks. When you face a task you've been avoiding, commit to working on it for just 2 minutes. That's it, just 2 minutes. Let me give you an example from my own life. I had been putting off writing the script for days. The thought of creating a 15-minute video seemed overwhelming, so I told myself, just write for 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes turned into an hour of focused work, and before I knew it, I had outlined the entire script. This rule works because it bypasses your brain's threat detection system. It doesn't sound threatening, so your brain doesn't trigger the avoidance response. But once you start, momentum takes over. Technique number 2, environment design. This technique is based on a simple truth. Willpower is overrated. Most of us try to beat procrastination through sheer force of will. We tell ourselves, I just need to try harder, or I need more discipline. But research shows that willpower is a limited resource that depletes throughout the day. Instead of relying on willpower, smart procrastinators design their environment to make productive behaviors easier and distracting behaviors harder. If you're trying to eat healthier, you don't buy junk food and then use willpower to avoid eating it. You simply don't bring it into your house in the first place. The same principle applies to procrastination. If social media is your procrastination poison, don't rely on willpower to avoid it. Use website blockers, put your phone in another room, or delete the apps altogether. This is what psychologists call friction, the amount of effort required to perform a behavior. By increasing friction for distractions and decreasing friction for important tasks, you can guide your behavior without relying on willpower. For example, if you want to read more instead of scrolling through social media, place books around your house and hide your phone in a drawer. If you want to exercise in the morning, sleep in your workout clothes and place your running shoes by your bed. Technique number 3, the Pomodoro Technique. Set a timer for 25 minutes and work with complete focus until it rings. Then take a 5-minute break. Each 25-minute work period is called a Pomodoro. After completing 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. This is very effective because it addresses 3 key aspects of procrastination. First, it makes large tasks less intimidating by breaking them into manageable chunks. Instead of thinking, I need to write a 20-page report, you think, I just need to focus for the next 25 minutes. Second, it creates a sense of urgency. When the timer is running, you're racing against the clock, which activates your brain's focus mechanisms. Third, it builds in rewards. Those 5-minute breaks give your brain something to look forward to, making the work period more tolerable. I've personally found that the Pomodoro technique works best when you combine it with a clear task list. Before starting your first Pomodoro, write down exactly what you plan to accomplish in each session. This prevents you from wasting time deciding what to work on next. Technique number 4, Temptation bundling. Developed by behavioral economist Catherine Milkman, temptation bundling involves pairing something you need to do with something you want to do. It's essentially creating a rule that you can only enjoy a certain pleasure while engaging in a productive activity you've been avoiding. For example, you might only allow yourself to watch your favorite TV show while folding laundry, or only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. This works because it transforms the emotional experience of the task. Instead of dreading exercise, you start looking forward to it because it means you get to enjoy your favorite podcast. I've used this technique myself by only allowing myself to drink my favorite coffee while working on some writing projects. Now, instead of procrastinating on writing, I actually look forward to it because it means I get to enjoy that special coffee. The key to effective temptation bundling is finding the right pairing. The temptation should be strong enough to overcome your resistance to the task, but not so distracting that it prevents you from doing the task effectively. Technique number 5. Implementation intentions. Most of us set vague goals like, I'll exercise more, or I'll start that project soon. But research by psychologist Peter Gallwitzer shows that these vague intentions rarely translate into action. Implementation intentions are different. They specify exactly when, where, and how you'll take action. For example, instead of saying, I'll exercise more, you'd say, if it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 7 a.m., then I'll go for a 30-minute run in the park. This works because it eliminates decision-making in the moment. When Monday at 7 a.m. arrives, you don't have to decide whether to exercise. You've already made that decision in advance. Your brain simply follows the pre-established plan. Implementation intentions are particularly effective for overcoming procrastination because they bypass the decision points where procrastination typically occurs. By deciding in advance exactly when and how you'll tackle a task, you remove the opportunity to talk yourself out of it later. I recommend writing down your implementation intentions and placing them somewhere visible. The physical act of writing them down increases commitment, and seeing them regularly serves as a reminder. Technique number 6. The Dopamine Detox. We're constantly bombarded with high dopamine activities, social media, video games, streaming services that provide instant gratification. When these activities are readily available, tasks that offer delayed rewards, like studying or working, seem less appealing by comparison. A dopamine detox involves temporarily abstaining from these high stimulation activities to reset your brain's reward system. This doesn't mean eliminating all pleasure. It means reducing artificial sources of stimulation that have hijacked your natural motivation systems. Set aside 1 day per week where you avoid all digital entertainment, processed foods, and other sources of easy pleasure. Instead, engage in low-stimulation activities like reading, walking in nature, or having face-to-face conversations. After a dopamine detox, you'll notice that previously boring tasks become more engaging, and your ability to focus improves dramatically. It's like resetting your taste buds by avoiding sugar, and suddenly, natural foods taste sweeter. I was skeptical about this technique until I tried it myself. After my first dopamine detox day, I was amazed at how much I enjoyed reading a book that had been sitting on my shelf for months. Tasks that had seemed boring suddenly felt engaging again. Technique number 7. The Seinfeld Strategy. When he asked about his success, Seinfeld revealed that he used a simple method to ensure consistent writing. He hung a large calendar on his wall and marked an X for each day he wrote jokes. As the chain of X's grew longer, his motivation to maintain the streak increased. The power of this strategy lies in visual progress and consistency. By focusing on not breaking the chain, you shift your attention from the difficulty of individual tasks to the satisfaction of maintaining your streak. This works because it harnesses the psychological principle of loss aversion, our tendency to prefer avoiding losses over acquiring equivalent gains. Once you have a strong streak going, the thought of breaking it becomes increasingly painful. To implement this strategy, choose a simple daily action related to your goal. Then track your streak using a physical calendar or habit tracking app. The action should be small enough that you can do it even on your busiest days. For example, if you're writing a book, your daily action might be write for 10 minutes. If you're learning a language, it might be practice for 5 minutes. The key is consistency, not intensity. A small action done consistently will yield better results than occasional bursts of intense effort followed by long periods of inaction. Put in your mind that you won't be a different person overnight. Understand how your brain works first and use that knowledge to your advantages. The most important thing is to start small. Don't try to implement all 7 techniques at once. Choose one that resonates with you and practice it for a week. Once it becomes habitual, add another. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.